There is something about like waking up and being able to like feel your guys' skin. Hey, what's up? I want to wear it.
All right, welcome back to the Camp Throuple Podcast.
Welcome
we
back.
are your camp host. I'm Alana.
I'm Megan.
I'm Kevin.
Now let's get into
Let's
it.
just jump
Let's
right
just
into
do
it.
Y'all
Let's
ready
just
for
get
this?
Wild.
All right. Here we go.
Here we.
If you're feeling like you need a little bit of company, you met me at the perfect time. You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way.
What did the first part say?
That said, my husband coming out to me as transgender
Oh.
and her saying, I want you. And then her saying, us both living our best queer life.
All right.
You know what? I think that's kind of cool because it shows that the wife loved the person she married, regardless of how they identified, how they felt. It's like, I love you for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's one way I can understand that. But if I put myself in her shoes, I don't think that necessarily like love and attraction is always the same thing, just in my personal opinion. So like that would be a difficult thing for me if, say, you came out to me as transgender and wanted to identify as a woman and, changed your looks, how you were dressing, maybe even, wanted to fully transition, which would be completely fine. And I would, of course, fully support you because I do love you and care about you. But as like, I think attraction in a relationship is extremely important, like sexual attraction. And I don't necessarily know if I would be able to be sexually attracted to you if that's something you decided to do. I don't know if that's wrong of me to feel that way. But after I saw that video, that's kind of like I tried to put myself in her shoes and how I would handle something like that. Like if I had decided to transition into a male.
Well, there's a few differences there because sexual attraction doesn't necessarily need to be based off of looks. You can be sexually attracted to someone based off of their intelligence.
Sure.
There's a lot of different things that could like trigger that for someone. But also, I am not bi. I'm straight. You are bi. So that would be the difference in that situation that you just laid out because
Yeah, but you said it's love. Like it showed that she loved no matter what.
Well, and that's the thing is
she was also
prior to her husband at the time coming out as trans, she might not have been bi. She might have been
very true.
identified as straight.
very true.
So for her, that is a like shift in her sexuality.
Right. So like, could you have a shift in your sexuality because your love for me if I decided to do that? Or would you be like, I love you and I care about you and I want to stay friends with you, but maybe the sexual thing would not be there anymore?
You know, that's a good question. I've never actually thought about this because this is not a situation I've ever thought I'd find myself in.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
Like that's a real answer. I have no idea how I would feel because I've never even thought about that. Like if one of you did come to me now and, the same situation in this video, I would be taken back and I would have a lot of questions before I would be able to feel one way or the other, I think. I think I'd need to come to a place of understanding first.
Yeah.
Especially because there's never been a conversation like this brought up with you two.
Yeah.
So it would just completely
Surprise.
throw me off.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Which I think some people in their relationships have been. I think people who have been married for long periods of time. I mean, I've seen different couples on social media who that's kind of what their page is about, is educating people on their situation. And they have stayed together through it and they're sharing what that's like.
Yeah.
But I think there's the flip side where someone, like you said, could still very much love you, but they can't continue on in that journey of being in a relationship with you because that is, you're shifting, like the person who's transitioning is shifting their identity. And sometimes the other person isn't in a place to shift theirs.
Yeah,
Like they
for
are
sure.
confident and comfortable in who they are. And as much as they love you, it's like they are set in who they are. And that doesn't make them a bad person, I don't think.
I don't either. I think that like like I said, there's different aspects to a loving relationship. You know what I mean? And I think I could still fully like love someone and be like, the sexual attraction isn't there anymore. And like you said, I don't think that makes you a bad person. It's just your preference and what works and what doesn't work for you. I think it's awesome that for this woman, like they were able to continue on and keep that relationship alive. But I would also be very understanding if someone was like, I can't do that in like a traditional relationship style.
Yeah. But I still support you. And like, if that's your journey, you got to take
Yeah,
that journey.
let's go shopping.
Yeah.
You know, let's go.
You can be friends. You can help them in their transition.
Yeah.
I dig it.
All right, guys, let's keep it moving.
Meg, keep it kicking us off with a very
I was like, oh.
Yeah. All right. Here's our next one here. Kevin, bringing it to us.
And I thought to myself then, there is one who I could follow. There is one I could call.
You know,
so our videos are very different.
Very different.
And we haven't made a podcast in a few weeks. It's been almost a month. There's been a lot of craziness going on with particularly my work schedule, long hours. And through it all, you both have been very supportive and there for me and helped picking up the slack in some areas of the relationship, just like chores or things here or there, which I'm very grateful for. But our DOG, man, our dog, Camper, is stuck to the hip with me. Like when I'm working till like 1 a.m., 11 p.m., he's just chilling in the office with me.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's my little ride or die.
Yeah, like he won't go to bed until you're done. But like he'll come back in and like check on me and Alana. Like he'll like look in the door or bang it open while we're sleeping and look at us. And then he has to go like back to Kevin.
That's what's funny is we've had a couple nights where Kev was working late and Camper's on a routine. So he's like, okay, we're going to bed. And Kevin will be in the room. So he'll go and lay down as if he's going like Camper will lay down to go to bed. And then Kevin will go back to the office and Camper can't. He's like up by the door and he's waiting for us to let him out.
Yeah.
So we let him out and we'll close the door. And he comes barging back in. He's like, no, this door stays open.
Yeah.
You can't close this.
Yeah.
I need to know you're okay, but I got to hang out with my dude, Kevin.
It is pretty funny.
He just follows you around. He has his nose like to your hip.
Yeah, he loves
He
you.
loves you.
Well, then the battle scene. I mean, we just recently watched The Hobbit like a month ago. And I rough play with Camper a lot. Like we wrestle, So I just imagined him.
That's how he thinks of you.
Yeah, just like, this is my guy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
He's a warrior.
I just realized your last video was also Lord of the Rings themed. Yeah, it was Gollum.
Oh yeah, you just can't get it. Maybe we gotta watch it again.
That's what I'm saying.
This needs to become like a twice a year thing now.
There you go, baby.
Once a
I'm
year is
in.
not enough.
I am in. All right, here we go.
Last but not least, Alana, let's see what you're cooking with. So one bed,
2 blankets.
So that's the European
like-
sleep method. And they
Okay.
if you're not watching and you're just listening, the video was of this couple and they're setting up their bed and they it's like a queen or king size bed, but then they each set up their side with like their own blankets, and that's the European sleep method. And I'm pretty sure people have told us about this before, and I'm putting it out here because I'm like, summer is right around the corner.
Yes.
And I think we might need to consider this as an option because we are all different body temperatures. The person in the middle gets hotter. Like, it's nice to have the one blanket because you can all snuggle.
Yeah.
But I think we might need to look into the European sleep method.
Okay, I get that. But like you said, there is something about like waking up and being able to like feel your guys' skin. Hey, what's up? I want to wear it. I realize that sounded weird, but no, seriously, I like to feel your skin.
I'm with you with one of our love languages being physical touch at the top. I would be kind of bummed out because we do the European sleeping method or style when we go camping. We each have our individual sleeping bag, and we always talk about that. It's like, this is nice, but like,
I miss you.
I miss you. Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. We're not going to be putting sleeping bags on our beds.
That's
We're not
true.
going to be in a cocoon. Like, you'll have a blanket, so you could just reach under the blanket and touch my skin if you're feeling it.
I'm down to try.
But I'm considering like how warm it gets in the summer, and just our sleep will be better because the middle person won't have to go on top of the covers, which affects the end people.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
hate that.
I think just overall it could be something
Let's try it.
try.
I'm down.
I'm
if,
down
if
to try.
anyone watching
I don't want
does
to touch
this
you guys.
method,
It's fine.
Yeah.
please let us know how you feel about it.
Yeah. Are you still able to touch each other's skin?
Do you like touching each other's skin?
That's also important. Maybe you don't, and that's why it works for you.
This is getting weird.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry. As we mentioned, though, it has been quite a bit since we did a podcast, a month, I think, which we do miss you guys and we miss doing the podcast, but we've just been kind of crazy busy with the work to where like doing the podcast sometimes can feel like another job in a way. You know what I mean? Like, we want to make sure we plan things, we do things properly. We're not doing it half-assed. Like, we do care about what we're putting out there for you guys and for us. And like Kevin said, he's been working some crazy hours to where like it's hard to work like a 12-hour day and get off and then be like, okay, let's go talk about
Some of those were 18-hour
touching
days
each
back
other's
to back
skins.
too.
Yeah.
You were getting very limited sleep. And
But-
you handled it really well, I have to say. If I was getting that small amount of sleep and then still having to work, I would have a breakdown every single day, and you didn't.
But like we talked about, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Like we talked about, or Meg brought up, I think it was our own recognition of like, hey, this is our relationship, and you know, it's very important to foster our love and, you know, time for us as well.
Yeah.
Not just going from work to social media and then our relationship not having any time to, you know, grow and just be with each other.
Yeah, we never want this to feel like it's like a business that we're just running together.
Yeah.
Right.
Not like a love thing.
Yeah, we got to foster that love.
Speaking of fostering love, we did make a pact. We just posted on our social media of every month there's a new person that decides our date night. So not like
Not
a new person bringing in, but like
Of the three of us.
of the three of us, Megan
Surprise.
chose January, Alana chose the month of February, I got March, and we each chose a different destination or date night.
Yeah.
So Megan, you chose a candlelit string quartet tribute to Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Alana, you chose the dueling piano bars,
Yep.
and I did the murder mystery
Yeah.
dinner.
They've all been awesome.
They have
Like
been.
so much fun. I'd highly recommend just doing a random kind of date night once a month, like stuff that you've never done before together. Like, I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, the new experience is just great for
Yeah.
all of us, you know, to have. It's
Yeah,
fun.
absolutely.
Yeah. So we've been focusing on that and just our love and
Or dating.
our dating.
Yeah. Speaking of dating, I feel like we've gotten a lot of people recently kind of commenting on our stuff about dating apps in specific. You know, we have partnered up with like one dating app that, you know, we post videos about, and I've noticed a lot of comments of people being like, dating apps are like bullshit. Like, there's
Doesn't
nobody on
work.
here.
This
This doesn't
sucks.
work. This
Yeah.
sucks. And I'm like, I get that in a way, but I also don't think that dating apps are like, okay, I downloaded this. Now I'm going to find exactly what I want right away.
Right. It's not a genie lamp that once you download it, you get what you want.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people looking for this type of relationship. It really could be the area you're in or the app you're using at the time. Like all kinds of things.
Your looks, what you're into, you know, your profile description, there's so many variables of why it might not be working. And I think the app is more of like a vessel to get you from, you know, like a car gets you from A to B. I think that's the same thing for the app. But if you don't have enough money for a nice car, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying there's a lot of variables. Like if you guys are looking for a very specific person, which I think is fine, but you're not having any luck due to the location that you're in, like that just might be. Or, there's a lot of people, and polyamory is kind of newer. There just might not be as many singles or couples in your area that fit the criteria you're searching for.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, if I was in the situation of a lot of the people that reach out and ask us, like, hey, like, we're a couple, we're trying to meet someone, like, what advice can you give us to try to meet someone? I would probably search, like, U.S. wide. I wouldn't stay to my area. I do think that it is harder to meet someone in this kind of relationship, so you really need to, like, expand your borders.
And if you full U.S. wide?
I go full U.S. wide.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. I'm wild.
I mean, I get it if you're in a state like maybe Missouri or Ohio, where
Alabama.
In my mind, Ohio is very spread out. It's not as populated as Colorado or California.
You sure about that? I think like Cleveland's a pretty big city.
Well, it's a big city, but not all of Ohio.
I don't know.
Big cities.
I don't know. It's a big claim. Cast a shade on
I've
the state
never
of
been
Ohio.
there. I
know.
don't know.
You don't even know the census. Like, what's going on in the state of Ohio?
I have no idea. Other than that, the Serpent Mound. That's as much. That's in Ohio, right?
It is, yeah.
That's all I know. But I mean, even for us in California, which is heavily populated, I think there are a lot of people that are more open-minded that could be looking for that type of relationship. But we also, I mean, I don't know miles wise, was it like
2 hours away from each other?
60 to 80 miles away from each other?
Yeah.
And like, that's how we met. So, I mean, mile wise, if you have it like 20, 25 miles, you might not
Yeah, there's
find
probably
someone.
not somebody looking for that.
It's true.
It's gonna be it's gonna be rare.
And like maybe it's worth it to talk to somebody long distance and to talk for a longer amount of time before meeting. Like we talked for a really long time before we
few
met
months.
in person. And I think that kind of helped foster the relationship in a way because we got to know each other before just being like, hey, what's up?
We also weren't looking for a relationship in ours, right?
Yeah.
So it is a bit different, I think.
And I think more people are probably looking for hookups. So like if you're just looking to hook up, you probably can find someone in a 25-mile radius.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking for something bigger. That would just be my suggestion is just expand that shit. I don't care. Go worldwide. Be crazy.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree fully, but if you are looking for a relationship and you're in, say, Colorado, and you match with someone in, I don't know, Michigan, it'd be hard to foster a like strong relationship that far.
You know, maybe not. Some people they meet and
I didn't say it was impossible. I said it would be
a
difficult
little
or
more
it's hard.
difficult. Yeah, but yeah, I don't. Anything could happen.
That's a fair point. Yeah. Anything could happen.
And that's life.
Yeah. There you
It's
go.
true.
Yeah.
So if you are on the dating apps and you're not having any luck right away, just, don't give up because you don't know. It could be just the timing. It could be, who knows? Switch up your dating profile, the pictures. But I just feel like we get an influx of emails of feeling of defeat and perhaps frustration that they downloaded the app a month ago and they haven't found any connections.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard to find one person you vibe with,
Right.
let alone, this kind of a relationship. Like,
Yeah.
it is a lot more rare. So it's not going to be as soon as you download the dating app, it's going to say this is instant success.
Yeah,
you know what I
for
mean?
sure.
It just, I mean, I think it elevates your probability of finding somebody for sure, but just give it some time, you know?
Be patient.
You plant a seed, you're not going to get fruit the next week.
It's very true. It's not magic.
It's not magic.
This isn't Jack in the Beanstalk.
It's not Jack the Bean.
That's right.
You guys, let's jump right into our new segment. This is called Closed Relationship Open DMs. We get a lot of DMs from people asking either for advice, telling us stories, talking that shit, all kinds of things. So, let's share one that we got recently. So, hey, Camp Throuple, my two partners have been secretly planning to propose to each other, and I just found out, but I wasn't included in the plan. I'm freaking out. Does this mean they see me as temporary? Should I say something or just wait to see if they have a plan for me too? I love them both, but now I feel like an outsider in my own relationship. What do I do?
It's a good question. I have some follow-up questions for this one because I vaguely remember this message. This individual was the newer person in the relationship. Like the other two were in an existing
I think
prior.
so, yeah.
I mean, there could be 10 plus years of history between these two.
Yeah.
And they were planning on like marrying each other. And then this person is relatively new that they're like, we do like this lifestyle, but the male or the female, I don't know, or if they're two males, two females, one of them was secretly planning on proposing. So they must have had a ring. They must have had this idea.
But
My personal feelings though on this is like, that's fine because this relationship requires individual relationships. Yeah. Like if Alana and I were together 10 plus years and then we started dating you 6 months later or for 6 months. And then you found out like I was going to propose to Alana. I don't think it's like you're entitled to feel however you want, obviously.
Yeah.
But like the history that we have is only 6 months compared to like 10 years. So
I get where you're coming from, but I think also at the same time, like when we did get in a relationship, you guys were already together for
3 years.
3 years, something like that. If that was something, say you were planning to propose to Alana or something, right? I wouldn't say that don't do it, but I would say give me the courtesy of at least telling me.
naturally,
And that's what I don't like about this situation is she just found out accidentally.
I missed that step.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, be transparent. If you're deciding to have another person in your relationship, everyone needs to feel equal. And I think this is one of those situations where someone could feel very much like not an equal part of the relationship.
if they didn't communicate like, hey, I beat you, like in that scenario, if I was like, hey, Meg, I'm planning on proposing,
Yeah.
I feel like at least communicating that and being transparent with you about the intentions
Yeah.
rather than you somehow finding out that I'm going to be doing that. I didn't process that when you read this story.
That's why I was kind of surprised when he was saying it. I'm like, I don't think people are going to like this very much, Kevin.
Sorry, the coffee hasn't kicked in yet. I'm still a little slow. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's fine to propose to someone, especially if you've been in a longer relationship. But yeah, give the other person at least a heads up.
Yeah. There's a lot of like factors in this that could change my view on it. One, if it is a scenario where two of the people have been together for 10 years and the other person, they've only been with for 6 months. I feel like going into this type of relationship at like 6 months, again, we haven't
Well, it says I
mentioned the
love
time.
them very much. So like there's love here. This isn't just like a fling.
Could happen in 6 months. I mean,
I'm
true.
just saying,
Look at us.
if there's love, it's probably a little more serious.
yes. But if you had conversations early on in the relationship, that was a plan. I mean, I think we communicated to you that we had no plans of getting married.
Right.
So you knew that right off the bat. So that could also impact, like, if this person didn't know that marriage would ever be a plan for them, if they hadn't communicated those things, I could see that being very shocking and I'd be taken aback and sort of feel similar to how they do. But also it's hard when it's a surprise because I'm like, well, what if they're gonna surprise propose to you? Like, you don't know.
Yeah,
so it's
you
like
don't know.
this weird thing where you found out and you don't like.
Do you say something? Do you just wait for it to happen and kind of trust that they're either going to tell you or they're going to propose to you? Yeah, I don't know what you
Like,
do.
if you know it's going to happen, and this is just how I would handle it personally, I'm not going to tell you how to handle it because you're in the relationship, so you know
Yeah.
where you're at with feelings wise and how you guys all communicate. But if I was in this, I think I would wait for those two surprise proposals to happen. I don't know how much time you want to give it, but I think that at that point opens the conversation for you to be like, hey, like, I love you both. You obviously love each other. I'm very happy in this relationship and I want to continue it on.
But where's my ring? Where's my
motherfucking
diamond?
That would feel weird. I don't know. Like if you guys both propose to each other and like It would just feel weird.
It would be. Like, I honestly, if I found out at this stage in our relationship, especially, that you guys were planning surprise proposal, I kind of would assume that you would have one planned for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I'm finding this out without either of you telling me, and with how strong all of our love is, how in deep we are.
How in deep we are.
How in deep we are
Jack
together.
Alana's skipping words today. Alana doesn't have time.
They're unnecessary. We don't need these words. We gotta talk quick. I would just assume that you kind of have one planned for me.
Yeah,
too.
I say
And
wait. I'd wait.
Yeah.
I'd wait and see what happens because you might screw it all up.
You could. There could be a much bigger plan that you don't know that part of the plan, and you're
And
not supposed to.
Why are you snooping around? I'm just kidding.
That's what I'm saying.
How did you accidentally find this out?
Yeah.
Huh?
All right,
What do you need more
Sherlock.
details?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
All right. So that's what I think. I say wait. Alana says wait. What about you? What's your final?
For the person?
Yeah. What do they
Like,
do?
what do they
Do they
do?
confront or do they wait?
No, definitely wait. Because you confront, you could ruin the surprise.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. We're all on
And
the
you
same
could be
page
involved
here.
in the surprise.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And also keep your nose out of people's business
That's
like
right.
that.
That's right. Keep your nose out. All right. I'm going to actually share one more video, which this goes into our segment, This More You Know.
Oh,
This is just a little something that came out.
little some, huh?
You know what's crazy? It's one of those situations where men reach out in secret. They go, "Yeah, honey, I would never." Hey, bro, congratulations. Yeah, I would never do that, babe. Just me and you, babe. Bro, you living life. Yeah, no. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of that. Which I understand. You know what I'm saying? To be completely honest, I'm not tripping either way. If you with it, cool. If you're not with it, cool. Like, because I'm not doing it for y'all. I'm doing it for me.
Good for
You know, you wouldn't even have known had Shade Room not picked up on a post from one of the girls. Like, I wasn't posting initially, like, because again, it's
You
not
were
for
living your life. It's very
for
private.
y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love
So-
Neo.
Yeah, Neo, this is the story. Neo is a proud partner to 4 different women, and he's ready to show them off to the world. Just over a month after So Sick confirmed that he's in a polyamorous relationship, he shared an Instagram post on March 8th introducing his girlfriends, sharing their names and nicknames as well as photos of the women. He said, since the world is so intrigued, I guess I should introduce my loves properly. So I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's go, Neo. I like his energy too. Him like talking on that podcast. I'm like, you seem like a cool dude.
Yeah. And it's true. Like, there are so many cases of like men just doing it on the side, or like they
Wish they could have that. Yeah. But I think it's just another kind of example of polyamory maybe getting to be a little more accepted, which is kind of nice to see. You know, like in
Like mainstream.
a little more mainstream and yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cool just to see that. And Neo's cool. He's got some good jams.
He's got a hell of a voice.
He sure does.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you think he got those 4 ladies?
I think
Yeah.
that voice was part of it.
Yeah, so that was just kind of a cool thing to see this
Yeah,
week.
because I feel like you don't see celebrities either coming out about this, or there's just not a lot of celebrities in this type of relationship. I think partly because when you are in the spotlight and there is some type of relationship like this, there's going to be tabloids, there's paparazzi all over you. So
Oh,
I get
yeah.
keeping that private.
Yeah.
And like, good on him for one, like, he's going through the relationship privately, because, you know, you don't need to put all these 4 women in the spotlight to just be like harassed, which
Yeah.
is probably what would happen and what might have happened after this. But
Yeah.
he took his time, and now he's at a point where he's like, I want to introduce the women that I'm with, and good on him.
I also think it's beautiful how he said, like, if you're with it, if you're not with it, I don't care, because I'm doing this for me. You know what I mean? Like, this is my life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to please.
Please.
You combined some words there.
I did. I'm like you. There's no time. We need to speak faster.
over here.
But, you know, you're not doing a relationship for other people. You're doing it because of how you feel and the life you want to live. And as long as everyone is consenting and, you know,
Happy.
adults and happy, like, go for it. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's really cool, because especially being in the limelight as a celebrity, the backlash and ridicule you're going to receive is much stronger than like for us. Like we're just people who are in love that started a social media account.
Make silly videos.
Yeah. We're not like extremely talented singers or like movie
Speak for
stars
yourself.
or athletes or, you know.
Would you like to share a song with us?
Megan's like, I actually have the voice of an angel.
Yeah.
Let the people hear your beautiful
No,
singing
I'm keeping
voice.
this for me.
Oh.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
I-
That was, he said,
I think he
say
handled that
something
well.
nice or move on with your life. We're happy over here.
Bingo.
Bam.
Nice.
And that's a,
Hey, I like that.
yeah.
Neil, you're
start
probably
saying
never
that
going to
to
see this,
people.
but congratulations, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Good
awesome.
for you.
I
Yeah.
love you
We love you.
Love you.
so much.
All right, guys. Well, you know what? And I think that's a good wrap right there. Say something nice or move on with your life. We happy over here. We hope you guys are happy too.
Yeah. And one last thing, you know, we've gotten a lot of messages while we were out. And I just want to say one thing that I'm grateful for before we wrap this up is just for the amount of love and responses we got after taking a break of posting a podcast.
Yeah.
It really means a lot, and it shows that, oh yeah, there are people watching this, and
Yeah.
you know, thank you. Like, it's cool. We are good in our relationship. Work has just been crazy. There's no drama. We're pretty boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
Thank you
grand
guys.
story.
All the messages have been so sweet. Like, we missed the podcast. We're like, okay. But yeah, that's been really awesome. So thanks, guys. Thanks, campers.
guys.
Thanks, campers.
All right, guys.
Anything else?
I think that's it. I think it's time for some lights
wrap it
out,
up.
baby.
All right. Well, have a great week, and we'll chat with you later.
Bye, guys.
Thanks,
Lights out.
campers.
Bye.
Lights out.